This video is going to look at the student year-end projection section of the student financials main menu. So we're going to cover these three screens. Let's just go through each one individually. On the first screen, the purpose of this screen is to take your current ADA that is being calculated by SIS K-12 polls and to project what it will be at the end of the school year. Now, the way that we're doing this is we're looking at this day, to whatever today is, and we're looking at the same day last year in SIS K-12 polls, and then figuring out what the change in your ADA was by school, by grade level, between today and the end of the year. And then we're taking that change, or that percentage that's calculated, and applying it towards the current ADA to give you an idea of where you're going to finish the year if you make the same effort as you did the prior year. And it should be quite close. Each district in the state, pretty much every district, sees their ADA fall throughout the year. And in fact, the ADA is usually at its lowest point on the last day of the school year. So you can't expect to keep it up unless you make monumental efforts and a little luck is involved. But in this case, this district between this date in October and the end of the year is projecting to fall by 3.28%. Now, this can be pretty accurate because what it's doing is calculating each school and grade level individually and then adding them all up to get to this. So it's getting to the lowest level of detail possible and then adding that up to get to the projected change. It's also showing you where you will be at the end of where you were at the end of the 17-18 fiscal year, and the end of the 16-17 school year. You can look at this by school or district-wide. You can also look at it by grade level. This particular school has one grade level per school, so it probably wouldn't be appropriate. But this will give you some feel for how to anticipate your ADA. And this is reported throughout the system on several screens, but this is the base point where it's computed. Let's go back to the student financials and look at the year in 90-90. Now, the year 90-90 is exactly the same thing. It's predicting where am I now and where am I going to be at the end of the school year. And it can't be quite as detailed because the data in SIS K-12 Pulse is not as detailed. It doesn't do it by grade level. So here we have to do it at school level. So it's probably not quite as accurate, but it's approaching it. And in this case, this school right here, for example, is projected to improve their 90-90 by the end of the year, while this one's going to go down a little bit. High schools always struggle with this compared to the elementaries. Now, the point of reference here is this is extremely good to see this improve. But that's a testament to the efforts that this particular district is making. So with that, let's go back to the student financials and look at the third screen here. And this is a screen that is not used often. It shouldn't be used often. On the other hand, there are times when it may be a benefit to use. Maybe when a board presentation or something, this is a fodder for ideas and information. So what it is doing in several categories, let's just look at student enrollment. It's looking at each school and district-wide at what was the enrollment in all 3 years, and based on the trend line of those 3 years, what would we see it to be next year? So since enrollment is growing here, what is the trend line using the current growth as a loaded weight compared to the prior year growth to project the 602 that we're reporting next year, and then provide a graph showing your current and your projected. This is in a lot of areas that it's doing this in terms of budget, enrollment, budget allocation per student, for ADA, ADA itself, adjusted enrollment, average days absent. As you scroll through here, you're going to see many, many different areas where it's giving you this kind of data for you to use. So hopefully that'll be helpful at some time, but it is not intended to be a screen that's used daily. It's just a screen that's used when it's appropriate. With that, going back to the student financial menu, we've covered this particular area. If you have any questions, you may call. Thank you very much.